Joining me now, Taylor Riggs, co-host of The Big Money Show, and Charles Payne, host of Making Money right here on Fox Business. Thank you, kids. So I got a little bit off my chest.
Good.
Charles, what
good
do you
for
think?
you.
What do you think about all this?
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think about
all of the above?
Yeah, right. No, it's just there's something for everybody here.
There is something for everybody. You know, it's you started off and talking about Powell and how Jay Powell's taking the blame. Obviously, he didn't stoke the inflation, right? I mean, but there's been easy money. I think everyone's hoping that Jay Powell can come to the rescue. He's between a rock and a hard place. We know he's got an almost impossible job, but the federal government, the fiscal side of this, continuing to pump in all kinds of cash.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, they're making his job virtually impossible. And the other part of this, of all this sell-off, the most fascinating part is the small caps, right? In July, when President Trump had a dominating lead over President Biden, small caps went crazy. You know, there was that one session where we had never seen 4 standard deviations. It was the most any index had ever been above its 50-day moving average in the history of the market, going back to 1900 with the Dow, 1928 with the S&P, 1971 with the NASDAQ. We'd never seen an index take off like that, and it's given it all back. That right there is a proxy for how at least investors feel about a Harris presidency.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Taylor Riggs also, look, let's face it, recessions will breed falling profits.
Yes.
Profits are the mother's milk of stocks. I've said it a million times for over 40 years. I mean, it is the enemy. You can talk about the Fed till you're blue in the face. And all these business shows and so forth always talk about the Fed do this, the Fed do that, Fed do this, Fed do that. Charles is right. They're between a rock and a hard place. What are they going to do? You're spending $6-7 trillion borrowing debt finance at the short end. It's crazy. The reality is a recession is going to hurt stocks. I don't care what the Fed does on interest rates. They cannot prevent a recession in the next year. And I think therein lies the problem.
And they're within the market. I think Thursday, Friday, and certainly today, we woke up and we always say the market is not the economy. But I think today we're finally pricing in what a slowing economy or a recession actually looks like within the markets. We'd had a huge run up. Some of these big tech stocks were up 30-40% year to date. How are we now recalibrating when the data changes? And I think with the labor report on Friday, we're all sitting back and saying, okay, is this sort of a healthy correction? And healthy corrections in the market are good. They should happen every 18 months to wipe out extra froth in the market. Or is this sort of a recessionary idea that's coming? And like you said, in a recession, you will have profits that are slowing or negative. Maybe you get the negative profit, no profit. So all of that, I think, is the market trying to figure out, what are we living in? What is this?
Yeah, well, Charles, I'm going to argue it's been a shakier economy than reported for several years now, almost the full term, because of the level of consumer prices beating wages. That's one point. But I think working folks in the middle, the typical families, the hard hats, people that work with their hands, not the folks on Wall Street, not the folks on Silicon Valley. I'm not against any of this. I'm just saying, in a sense, what we used to call middle America. They've had trouble affording this economy for several years. And these chickens are coming home to roost.
They are coming home to roost. And listen, you go back to that $1.9 trillion so-called COVID relief package.
Right.
That was it. That was the tipping point. That was modern monetary theory.
Yes.
That was this notion that you could just print as much money as possible. I mean, again, I always tell people we've come a long way from a chicken in every pot. I mean, this was crazy. And what ironically, it's going to benefit the top 1%. Look at Warren Buffett's portfolio. Imagine one of the richest men in the world, and all he invests in now is treasuries. So while he gets to take billions in treasury gains, the average person watching this show watch their credit card interest rates go from maybe 15% to 23%. Delinquencies are going through the roof. It's only going to get a lot worse. So it's been one of these things where it boggles my mind when I see anyone in the bottom 80% of this economy thinking that they would want to vote for Vice President Harris. And we have seen a shifting of the guards. Officially now, the Biden presidency has officially ushered in a new Democratic Party of the elites and college elites and the wealthiest people in this country. And everyone else is suffering mightily.
I think so. I think it's been the soft underbelly for 3.5 years. You know, people forget. I mean, I don't want to dwell on the past, but the reality is the first half of 2022, inflation shock caused a 2-quarter downturn in GDP. And then there was a bump I think, from the spending that Charles is describing, okay? But that bump was, you know what it is? It's not you were saying a chicken in every pot, which I love. It's an EV in every rich pot, every rich person.
And while we're at it, we'll pay your college loans. And while we're at it, we'll give you earned income tax credit that was initially designed for poor working families.
I mean, really, we're along for that. 20 seconds. The yen carry trade is falling apart, right?
Yes.
I don't want. It's too technical, but
Too technical.
the fact is, what was it? $20 trillion worth just went down the
drain. So when yen is weak, it's easy to borrow that to buy the Mag 7. Now, of course, the yen is strong, the Japanese currency. So you're caught on the wrong side of that trade. You have to sell equities to close out that position.
I knew that because I worked on the other business channel for so many
There
years.
are some of the technical things, but real big worries too about sort of the global growth. If the U.S. sneezes, does the rest of the world catch a cold?
Well, China. Think about China. The front page of the Wall Street Journal today, bad consumer spending in the U.S. and China.
Yes.
Now, that could have played a little weenie role in this.
And you've heard it from every multinational. You've heard it from McDonald's saying it's a U.S. consumer, but we're also worried about a Chinese consumer. Starbucks saying the same thing, right? So this is sort of a global consumer that's figuring out how we are now no longer spending what we were a year ago.
And I just want to say, I want to conclude the technical part of this show, okay?
Okay.
But the Fed can drop rates this month, next month, the month after. That is not going to impact the economy in any serious way for at least a year. The Fed can't bail us out. The Fed cannot bail out the mistakes of the past. They can't. They're not going to do it. They can bail out the market from a total collapse, which I hope we don't have, frankly. But the Fed, don't look at the Fed. Look at fiscal policy. Look at the spending and the borrowing. Look at the middle class suffering. I mean, the middle class is underwater for 3.5 years. We've never seen anything like
it's heartbreaking.
I think you worry when the Fed cuts, does it reignite inflation? Because on the fiscal side, they're still spending so much.
And who does that help when the Fed cuts? It does not help the middle and lower income classes. It's a different game. Charles Payne, Taylor Riggs. Charles' book here. Catch Charles on Making Money Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. What's the name of the book there? Come on, Charles, you tell us. They didn't put it.
Unbreakable Investor.
Yeah, now I've sold it.
I appreciate it.
I've sold it on the radio forever, so it's great stuff. Taylor is the bottom line. Is that the name of it? Host Brian
Big Money Show.
Big Money Show. God help me. Brian Brenberg, Jackie DeAngelis, Big Money Show, 1 p.m. Eastern. All of it right here on Fox Business.